Hey guys, welcome to another vlog or some sort of a vlog, and welcome to the channel CarFreak 458. Today is a very random day. I haven't been planning on recording anything, or certainly I didn't plan on recording this car, but I had this car for the weekend, so for the past 3 days or 3 days I guess, correct. And last night I was thinking, I have to do a short review or just a comparison, basically, between the older models of the German car manufacturers and the newer models of some other manufacturers that are not from Germany, like BMW, Audi, Mercedes, Porsche, and so on and so forth, right? So it was a must. It was like mind-boggling, basically, and it was tickling my brain. And it couldn't get to me that the car that is almost 10 years old can perform better, can feel better, it can feel newer than the car that is 2018-19 model, basically. And that's like, I don't know. I mean, do you have the same feeling? I mean, it's really like it's not fair. I mean, that you can just buy a car that is like cheaper than the newer car and have better performance and everything else. Hence today we are in the BMW X5 50i X Drive, basically, and it's a top model with a panoramic roof, basically, as you can see. So just these kind of small features, and you will see later on. I'm about to return the car to the owner. So in my Nissan there is not even a sunroof, and this is like a panoramic roof, and you have a big screen in front of you that is controlled by the knob here. 4-zone climate control or whatever it is. A nice head up or whatever you call it, a small display with the speed that you're doing, the quality of the materials, like the steering wheel. It's a M kit, basically, so everything is M apart from the engine, side skirts, bumpers and everything else. Even the steering wheel, it's M. So the steering wheel, the feel of the steering wheel, it's so much more luxurious than the Nissan, and that's what blows my mind, for the same price. And then all the leather and everything, all controlled by the electronics, the seats, basically. Same in the back, all the leather seats, and then you have also the 2 extra seats in the back. I mean, basically that was the main reason why I borrowed the car for the weekend, is that I can fit all my family in it, because I have some visitors like my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, so I needed a 7-seater, basically, with 2 babies and my wife and myself. But then, like, you see the I mean, the materials, the wood and the trims here, I don't know, the leather, the knobs and everything, like, it's mind-blowing. And the pilot gear shifter as well, it's something that, I mean, I never get bored of. It's just something. So, and the power that you have, the comfort that you have in this car, I mean, it's just something. You can overtake at any time, you can easily cross the limits, so you have to be very careful. That's why the full option as this car is good, because it has also the cruise control, so you don't exceed those limits. But amount of power that this car has, yes, it's a V8. The sound of the V8 that you're gonna hear in a moment, it's just something, comparing to the car that I'm driving at the moment, which is a Nissan, and it's 2018-19 model. I mean, come on, how far behind is the world compared to the Germans when it comes to the day-to-day cars or the SUVs or whatever you want to call it? It's far behind. And even the basic models of the X5, restyling, basically X5, they're far better than the basic models of the Nissans and, I don't know, the Toyotas and Hyundais, Kias, and so on and so forth. All that kind of Asian market. And I can freely say, and I hope that I will not offend anyone, also comparing to the American market, the Dodge or a Chrysler or a Ford, from 2012, 13 models. They feel so plastic, so cheap, and that's what you have here. All the quality materials, all the comforting ride. The only bad thing is, like, I would say, a fuel economy if you have a V8 like this one. I mean, I just put a petrol at the full, the full tank, and you just get out of the petrol station, it already starts going down. And it's like, is this my RPM, or is it like a gauges for the fuel? That's the only bad thing. But then with a great power comes the great, I mean, not the great fuel economy, I guess. So I mean, let me just take you for a ride a little bit, so you can maybe hear a bit of this V8 roar. And it's time to give the car back. So yeah, let's take it for a spin. This is the heads up display that I was telling you about, that shows the speed that you are going, and I mean, just the power that you have underneath your feet. It's, you have to respect it, because in a just a blink of a second you can overtake someone, or you can cross the speed limit. So you have to be really careful when it comes to that. And surprisingly, it's a very comfortable ride, and even though it runs on the flat tires, so it's not the SUV, that you can probably go to desert and all these things. It's more of a luxury SUV that performs better on the road for the long trips, and with a comfort ride and your family in the back. So, and one more thing that maybe I forgot to mention earlier on, I mean, the handling and the response from the steering wheel, it's just, I mean, it's there. Faster you go, the steering wheel gets stiffer and more sharp. Same thing applies if you basically put it in the sport mode. Put it in the sport mode, everything gets more stiffer, everything gets more sharper. So it's just something. It's a bit busy here. We are about, as I said, to return the car, so we are close to the owner's apartment. So it's a bit busy, so I cannot stretch it off or anything else. But trust me, it is something.
Yeah, a lot of people been asking, who the fuck am I? Where the fuck do you come from? Who's your dad? Is he your grandson? Is he really from Malabar? Kan the Polen nigga tunela? This be the Malabar flow, got the whole team back in a row. This be the wars, everybody wanna get it loud, really wanna know about the things that be Malabar. Taking down the pad as I teach you how my Insta rise. Everybody got a little question in their mind, like the TP Sultan. Shoot the arrows and I'ma be gone. Yeah, Malik Dinar in the gent to the Arda. They do what the Kaligal in Yamakuna Kana. Mostly at school in the front till the Parda. They do what the Katakat in Yamakuna Para. This ain't nothing but a proof of the Hara. Gonna take it to another level, muddy murder. This ain't me doing nothing but less in the water. Gotta let the demons know who is the father. Flow like crazy, I'm Abdurrahman's baby. TPU Saints daughter really raised me. This be the reason I got that Malabar flow. Man, I got the Malabar go. Practice be wanting a piece of the freehold. We got the whole fucking squad. Malabar going bar after bar. We all be ending the war. We all be motherfucking stars.
I don't know if I should cry or what. Basically, back to reality. As you can see behind my back, it's Nissan Altima. Back to the cheap seats, as you call it, even though the car is newer and everything else. I would like to hear your opinion in the comments, or you can write me on Instagram or whatever you want. Like, what do you think? Like, is it worth of buying a newer car or a new car, let's say 2018, 2019, right, from the showroom, and not enjoy it as much, or buying let's say 2013 BM or Merc or Audi, and then have a nice and comfortable, powerful ride with a lot of joy. I mean, that car for 3 days, it used to put a smile on my face every morning I wake up, you know, and I decide to go anywhere, even though if it's like in my community, just to the CarFreak and the mall, you know. So just let me know what do you think about it. My opinion personally is that I'm gonna have to get something that's, you know, German made and with a lot of, you know, fun. And yes, maintenance is more expensive. Yes, the fuel economy is not there. I understand all of these things, and you might write it also in the comments. But again, you know, when you wake up in the morning and when the car puts a smile on your face, I think that's what it counts, right? How many smiles do you get, you know, every time you open the door of the car, every time you see the car, you know, just sticking its nose or a tail, you know, from your doorstep. I'm just talking from the heart, and I'm a big fan of the BM. I used to own a couple of them, and you know, I still think that I'm gonna get one, either BM or Merc, Audi maybe. I'm not quite sure when the situation gets a bit better, but you know, it's just about all these kind of things, like, you know, there is nothing wrong with this. There is nothing wrong with this, but it's just like the whole materials, you know, everything is so like, you know, I don't know the seats and everything, and there's no sunroof. There is nothing. It's basic. It's very basic thing here, even though it's like, you know, a year or two old car. And I don't know. As I said, like, would like to hear your opinion about all these things. And that's it for now. This was like very unexpected, very random video that I just decided to do on my way to return the car today. And maybe we're gonna have to do a full review of that X5, you know, if you guys want, because it's my friend's car. But for now, as I said, that's it. Please like, share and subscribe. CarFreak 458. Cheers.